Maybe.
Okay.
Says you are
My mic
live.
says it. My mic says it's on.
All right, guys, we're having some issues with the audio. Susie, are you talking?
No, I am now. Uh,
Hey, Susie, I can hear you now through YouTube. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did you hear me?
Hey, Susie, I can hear you now.
I I hear you
All
kind of
right.
now.
So you can hear me okay.
I can hear you. I hear you kind of now.
So you can hear me okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I think it's probably just a lag through having to go through a third party, but if you're hearing yourself twice, Susie, I don't know if you're pulling up YouTube also, but
I'm. Tr-
oh my gosh, I hear myself twice.
uh,
If you're hearing yourself twice, Susie, I don't know if
Let's
you're
try
pulling
this.
up YouTube also, but oh my gosh, I hear myself twice. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't understand what's going on. Let's see. Mute. All right. Let's see. Hey, guys. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. I can't hear anything,
I'm still here,
which
Tiffany.
makes it really weird to have a conversation when you can't hear the other person. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it, and if somebody, okay, so if somebody asks us a question and we don't answer it, it's probably because um we can't hear. So it's okay. We're just gonna roll with it, and if I don't, if
Okay.
okay. So if somebody asks us a question and we don't, all right, it's probably because okay. Let's see. All right. Woo, boy! I need a shot of tequila now. Yes.
I would love some tequila. Oh, Lord.
All right. All right, Susie. All right. So, Susie LaFond, I am so excited to have your Northern Gal self here on Southern Gals Designs, where, yes, our accents are very different, but I love you all the same.
Thank you, Tiffany.
You all the same. Huh. I wonder why I'm muffled. That's so weird. I'm really struggling today, guys. I'm gonna try to put my earpods back in and
Oh God, Tiffany.
All right. So hopefully you guys may be able to hear me over there. What you got going on? I see some looks like. All right. So hopefully you guys may be able to hear me over there. What you got going on? I see some looks like. Hey, Susie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, the echo.
Susie, can you hear me? Do you have YouTube and stream? Do you have, okay, do you have YouTube pulled up as
Yeah, I
well?
do.
Susie, can you hear me? Do you have YouTube and stream? Okay, do you have YouTube pulled up? Yeah, I do. Okay. What I mute your computer audio. Mute your speaker on your computer.
I did.
Okay. What your computer audio. Mute your speaker on your computer. I did. Okay. Huh. All right. I don't know why it's doing that then. It'll be fine. It's all good. Tell us what you're working on today.
Hang on a second. I'm all right. Let's.
I don't know why it's doing that then. It'll be fine. It's all good. Tell us what you're working on today.
Hang on a second. All right. Let's. Okay, so. Good Lord. I'm still making adjustments over here. Does that help? Well, at least now I've. Okay. You want to know what I'm working on? All right. So, can you hear me? This is so weird. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. Maybe. Hopefully.
Yes.
All right. So.
Yes.
I don't normally do altered books, but I started. Wow. Okay, the delay is really freaking me out. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is a book that I started.
Susie, if you want, you can just yeah. You can X out of the YouTube if you want, and if we get a question, I will just tell you.
Okay.
A question. This is a book that I started.
Okay, so all right. Whoa. All right, so I was going to chuck this and just use it all for collage images, and then I started throwing paint on the pages, and to be honest, I really like the way the paper responded to the paint. So I just started doing backgrounds in this thing, and you'll recognize a page that I put on Instagram. But so I've just been throwing down paint and playing with backgrounds in this. The paper just accepts paint so well for a purchased book. So
I love it.
I'm kind of messing around with it, and on some of the pages, there's images that I'm just painting around them for the time being, whether I keep them or not. It remains to be seen, because sometimes they stay and sometimes they go away. Again, just messing around. I really like this page, so I'm not going to put paint on here. I made collage on this one. This one I did in black. A feather. You know how I feel about feathers. That one I'll definitely keep. More plan. More plan. And this is how they look when I just start throwing paint down. So that's what we can do if you want. More plan. More plan. And this is how they look when I just start throwing paint down.
So, question for you, Susie. Did you glue the pages together?
No, I never do. It's just my personal preference. I tried doing that years and years ago when I first started journaling, in altered books specifically. And I think I was doing the gluing part wrong, because once they were glued, they were a hot mess as far as wrinkly, and when I'd close the book, the pages wouldn't go the way they were supposed to go. So I just stopped gluing pages together. I am envious of anybody who can do that and make them look all good, because when I do it, it's not a good thing. So it goes with the whole junk journaling thing. Any paper is fair game. And whatever that paper decides to do, once it gets wet medium on it, I deal with it. You know,
I really like the size of that book.
It is, I can tell you exactly how big it is. It is 10 by 8.5-ish, I guess. Yeah, it's a nice size. I like it. But then size for me kind of comes and goes, just like with you, Tiffany. Sometimes I like them little, sometimes I like them bigger.
Cracks by you. The problem is I can't hear audio through StreamYard today, so I think that's part of the issue.
So would y'all like me to just start?
All right. So I love that, Susie. I like that you're working in a background journal. I'm really disappointed that this audio is giving us such difficulty because yeah, it's just start, Susie. Just start slapping that paint down, sister.
All righty. I will definitely do that. You think I have a paintbrush like right handy in
Susie,
front
do
of
you
me?
have an art supply that you just can't live without?
This matte Blick matte acrylic white. All of my blending gets done with this stuff. This is my love. I love this. Big hug. This love right here.
Blick matte.
Yep. This is like my go-to, and this is the biggest bottle they sell. I would buy this by the 5-gallon
I've seen a lot
bucket.
of people use that. I personally have never tried that. So thanks for enabling more shopping, Susie. Just saying.
Well, here's the thing. You know, it's it goes down, I guess, just a little differently than gesso does, because you'd think, well, what's the difference between matte white and gesso, and gesso has so many different variations. You know, you can get the thick gesso, you can get Golden's gesso, which kind of dries with a little bit of sheen, even though it's toothy. Blick Studio gesso is different, and when I use gesso as opposed to the white paint, other paints don't always blend in as nicely as it does with the matte acrylic. So it's kind of become my go-to over gesso, even though I use a ton of gesso as well. Of course, gotta go with the underpapers.
I love that. I love versatile products like that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah. I always forget those. Like under my journal page that I'm working on, because I'm such a messy person.
Oh, but I can be as well. You know, this is just all being formal and stuff. Half the time there is no underpapers, and half the time anything that might be underneath.
And guys, I'm just using some instant coffee. And guys, I just glued these tags together with brown packing tape. That's
Okay.
what I'm doing. And this is not planned as usual. So, you know how I like to work on multiple things at once. So, I'll probably put this to the side here in a minute and do something else. Hey, Susie, I got to show you something.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the screen though or not.
I'm looking at it upside down, so I'm going to try and get my tablet. Oh my God, Tiffany.
Giving me feathers.
Oh, look at all those beauties.
Look.
Oh, they're so pretty. I love them. You are in feather heaven, Tiffany.
My chickens have been molting, and so I get feathers every day. Chicken feathers, chicken feathers, chicken feathers.
Okay, and so here I was so proud. I found a tiny feather in my yard.
I know you would love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. So y'all are funny. Y'all are so funny. So, Heather, instant coffee, is not the same when using the grounds. Instant coffee is like what non-coffee drinkers, non-real coffee drinkers use, and coffee grounds already has kind of the goodie out of it, so you're not going to get it as dark. Crafts Value, I have 9 chickens, so there's a lot left to give out there. All right. So you can see. I love it. Heather, my favorite brand of coffee is anything that's on sale or cheap. So this is I don't actually use this for drinking, but it is a dark roast, and so the dark roast is going to give you, of course, like a richer color than what you would have. So, Susie, I know in your work you do a lot of like lighter colors, but then every
Yep.
once in a while I'll catch on your YouTube like this really bright, bold pop of color. Do
Yep.
you like, how does that all work out? If you go out with a lot of color, do you just cover it up with white or what?
Sometimes, yeah. It kind of just depends on my mood and what may or may not end up on the page. I guess I don't think about it too much, but sometimes a page will start where it has just way too much color for me. It's like I loved it when I did it, because a lot of times I don't come back to these pages for weeks, sometimes even months, and then I'll come back to it and go, oh, that really bright color was pretty when I did it, but now I'm just like, it's making me ill. So then I go in with the white to tone it down. Which is why white tends to be my favorite color.
Yeah, you're not feeling it anymore.
Exactly. I am just sad that I can't see what you're doing, because I want to see what you're doing. All right, so just for funsies, I threw some blue on here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this again once I can think through the technical issues that we're experiencing. I'm thinking it's probably on my end because I can't hear through StreamYard, and I usually mute um through StreamYard, and if I mute StreamYard now, I can't hear you at all. So it's kind of it's kind of crazy right now, but that's okay.
We will do a
It will be available for replay. So
we will have to do this again, yes, and then work out the bugs. It never fails, right?
right. You are right about that, sister. Right about that. I mean, you know what? I'm going to tell you, Susie. I said, when I sent you that message and asked you to come on to do this, I really, really, really did not expect you to say yes, because I was like, oh, Susie probably doesn't like to like art and talk and whatever we're doing right now. So I was a little bit anxious, and when you popped back so quick, I was like, hot diggity dog.
Oh, heck yeah, heck yeah. The problem for me, as obvious as it is, the technical stuff has me at a loss half of the time. So I have to trust that the person doing it knows how to talk me through it, yo. I should have known and should have said, hey, let's test this sucker out. I am so technically challenged. And I try not to be. And when
the part is it's never done this with the audio thing. I don't know.
Of course, it's me, you see. It's like, yep, let's save this hiccup for Susie. So, Tiffany, You know, like I told you that my house is being sided and
No,
it's been
I think
crazy.
it's me.
And it's been crazy noisy here.
I feel like it's probably me.
I got to show
Yes.
you this. I have to show you this, Tiffany. So my whole house is surrounded by all this stuff for siding and packaging. And so I go out in the yard and I see this really pretty blue paper that's on the packaging, right? Out on these big boxes in my yard. So I harvested them.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff. Only a true nutcase would go out and rip stuff off for their art. But I'm loving all of this.
Yeah.
I will find a way to use all of this. And I'm pretty sure the guy that's doing all the work.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Did the guy see you?
Well, no, I've been going out there when he goes to lunch. And so I rip off a chunk of the box and then I'm thinking, I wonder if he even notices that someone's like tearing off chunks of his boxes. It's hysterical. This is how we get by.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yep.
I love that. I love it. I love it so much. That's hilarious.
Yep. Let me tell you.
He's probably like, I don't know what keeps happening with my packaging in my boxes, but they're missing.
Yeah.
That's
well, you know,
fun.
here's what I think. I paid for all that stuff. Those boxes are technically mine.
There you go. Yes, that's true. That's very true. Somebody in the chat said big squirrels.
What? Yeah, big squirrels. That's me. I'm a big squirrel. Huh.
I love it. I love it very, very much. And so, Susie, I know you like to work on multiple pages at a time. Do you have multiple journals set out today?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I got this one. And then there's this one that I got going.
Oh, I love that one. I love that. That's a good size.
And then there's this one. All right, so this was a page that had all kinds of color happening on it that I went in and whited over. All right, so this was a page that had all kinds of color happening on it that I went in and whited over.
I like that. I like it. It's pretty square too. It looks like kind of from here, or maybe it's a little rectangle.
It's 5x7. The fabric that's on it makes it look bigger. There's more fabric on there than book. I added all of the fabric well after the fact. I basically sewed a piece of fabric to the cover, and the journal itself was a gift. And so it was somewhat plain. So I went in and made a cover that that would inspire me to use it. It's like I needed it to speak to me in a language that I understood. So I had to go with some fabric just to get me to work in it. Otherwise it would sit and languish.
I love that.
And I have the journal that you gifted me with. I'm so close to having that one finished. I don't have that one right in front of me, but I'm so close to filling that journal up, Tiffany.
Oh, I'm so close to the journal, having the journal done that you gave me too.
Well, that's cool.
You had a really bright page that you did in there where all of the pages were stitched together. And that one's tripping me up a little bit, but I'm gonna master it.
Oh, you will. I have no doubt, Tiffany. I have no doubt. See, and now I'm at a point with this where I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with this hot mess? And do you think the paint would come out of the bottle? Heck no.
It looks beautiful to me.
Well, thank you. Needless to say, because I've had all this stuff going on at the house, it's been hard for me to, even if I'm down here, I can still hear all the banging and the sun and the general mayhem that's going on outside. And I am thrilled to death that it's happening, but it has completely ruined my art time. Because as soon as I start to get into something, there'll be crash, bang, stuff is falling from the sky, literally.
What? What about the cat?
Oh gosh, Lucy is so freaked out. Oh my God. She does the whole cat thing where she slinks, she gets as low to the ground as she can possibly get. And she's a tiny kitty. She is not very big, even full grown. And she's a really social kitty as a general rule. But this whole past week, and the windows have all been open because it's really, really great weather right now. And she loves to sit in the window, but with the guy out there and the ladders and all the stuff that's around the house, there a couple of days she stopped eating because she was so stressed. So needless to say, as soon as he left yesterday and was done for the holiday weekend, she came downstairs, and I swear to God, she was going to check every window that she hasn't been able to sit in and sit in them. So that's what she did yesterday when he left. She sat in every single window for a period of time. But she is not liking it. The dog does not care.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she's got a few more days to go for sure.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah, she's my baby. Tilly doesn't care. Tilly just kind of, the dog is just whatever.
Is it coming along pretty quick?
Yeah, they got the garage side is done. The back is pretty much done. They just got to go in and do the fascia and soffits around the roof line. And then it's the other side of the house. And then the last thing they'll do is the front. And then they'll put on the gutters at the very end. We so needed this done, Tiffany. You have no idea. It's been a long time coming. All right. So art-wise, I need to do something.
I know it'll be a relief to you to have it all completed.
Oh, God. I can hardly wait. I'm like, please, be done. All right. So, where? There we go. Now I am just going to make a mess. With the Stabilo.
I like messes.
Yeah.
Stabilo is a go-to. So, question for you. If somebody's watching us and they're brand new to art journaling, what advice would you start with for them?
Kind of, I guess I get asked this question every once in a while. And I think the most important thing is to do what feels most comfortable for you in the beginning. It's so easy to want to do everything that you see out there, and then when you do it, like as an example, when I started, I invested a ton of money into rubber stamps, thinking that I was going to love doing rubber stamping in my journal, and quickly realized that I was not a person that used stamps. So I bought all these stamps and then never used them. So at the very beginning, keep it simple. Buy a few favorite colors of paint, a few cheap brushes, a couple pens, maybe, maybe a couple pastels, and just sit down and play and see what feels right to you. Because all right, so for me, this feels right, but it might not feel right to someone else when they're starting.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Just have fun. That's the main thing.
Right. Yeah, that's really good advice. I agree 100%. Yeah.
See, and I was really drawn to a lot of the designers whose stamps I bought. I mean, I loved them. But I never found a way to use them that felt right with me. And I see people use them and I go, wow, I can't do that. Because it just doesn't, it's just not, it doesn't resonate with me. And they're amazing, so I certainly wouldn't say, oh, don't ever do that or use that. But it just never worked out for me. I mean, I also bought a ton of embossing powders at one point. And again, I'm like, okay, can I use these? Will I use these? And I didn't. So in the beginning, less is more.
I agree with that. I bought so many things that didn't really, just weren't me, just weren't for me.
Yep. All right, I'm calling this one for now.
So, Susie, are you going to have a second book coming out? This is me being nosy. Just pretend like other people aren't watching.
Yeah. Oh, book. That kind of book. I have been kicking the tires on a few ideas. Nothing has completely gelled, but they are, I have a working title, and I have photographs that I've taken. I was really kind of heavy into it, or at least fully committed to it, and then COVID happened. And so then that just kind of put everything kind of on a back burner for me. And I haven't gotten completely back into that mindset. When I wrote my first one, literally, that's all I did for,
right,
like that would have been last summer. Now at this time last year, I was literally spending 8 to 12 hours in front of the computer, moving pages around, adding the text, changing my mind, redoing the layouts, and getting everything to work with the program. And I would come upstairs after doing that all day, and literally my brain was just like fried. It was a learning experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I highly recommend going for it, whether you know what you're doing or not, because I definitely didn't know what I was doing.
And so, for all of you guys who are watching us, Susie has a book. I have linked it in the description box. It is a stunning, stunning book. I highly recommend it. And so yeah, I go check it out. So, Susie, do you have any new art classes, or will you be teaching any art online soon?
Again, it's something that I've got ideas for. I had this idea. Well, okay, I'll tell you. I'll lay a little secret on you. And this doesn't. I don't have any firm plans for this yet, or a layout for how I want to do it, but I am seriously considering hosting a in-person retreat in northern Minnesota.
Yeah.
Again, I was semi in the works of preparing for that.
Oh yes, sign me up.
Before COVID hit. And obviously the venue that I have,
but I'll go.
I have a venue that is absolutely beautiful on the shores of Lake Superior. It's very, it's definitely secluded, but the resort has all the comforts of home. Indoor pool, outdoor spa, indoor spa, restaurant, bar, and a beautiful location, plus a gazillion trails to walk. All kinds of free activities that come with staying there. It's just a matter of figuring out when, how much, and basically how many folks I might be able to get for it. But that's really the next big thing I'd like to do. And the idea behind it is a group of like-minded souls would get together, we'd go up there, and it would be, as opposed to me teaching.
We have a lot of people in the chat pod here saying yes, yes, yes.
It wouldn't be so much about, like, I would bring an idea and share it with whomever. And what I would ask is that anybody who'd want to attend just come ready to create, but also share. So what I kind of want is it to be very relaxed so that everybody can kind of come and do and create together. But also, if they just need an hour where they want to sit by the lake or take a walk, or, you know, just have some downtime in a beautiful location, that would be available for them to do that. And then block out specific amounts of time for everybody to create together, but loosely. I've done this up there.
Yeah.
A couple of times I brought, because I can drive there, I just load up the car with literally half of my art room, I swear to God, in the back of my Kia. And then I just, you know, move everything off the big dining room table in the room, and that becomes my studio en masse, with the lake, with a view of Lake Superior. And it's just, it's such a beautiful environment to create in. I wish I lived up there. It would be a dream to live on the lake. Doubt that's going to happen anytime soon, but I would love to share that experiences with other artists, because I love it so much, and I'm pretty sure others would as well, and have it be casual and fun. And, you know, if we want a break and watch a movie, or, you know, go have a fireplace, or go down to the fire pit and sit and chat, or, you know, go to the lounge and have a cocktail and then walk back to the room. It's really a pretty location. So as far as classes go, that's my big idea, gals. That's what I'd really love to do.
Well, you just let me know.
Art retreat. We get rid of this COVID nonsense, when people actually can go back to having a life and not be afraid to walk up.
I happen to know a lot of ladies who like to do just that. So
I will definitely keep that in mind. I do. I have I've already written an intro for it, as far as putting it out there in the world. So yeah, that's probably my biggest secret right now, is I really want to make that a reality.
Go away, virus, so we can get our party on.
Yeah. There's a lot of logistical stuff with going where I'd really like to take everyone. There is an airport, but it's tiny. And I'm not sure what regional airlines fly there. So logistically, it's a bit of a challenge. But if you fly into Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's basically a 6-hour drive from there, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful drive, so that's not like out of the question. And it's 3 hours from Duluth, and that airport I know takes all kinds of regional airlines. So you could fly in. You could fly into Duluth, which is also a pretty city.
We just can't do it in the wintertime because this southern gal doesn't know how to handle those type of temperatures.
Nope. Well, time-wise, I am thinking summer is out of the question just because their rates, their summertime rates are astronomical. And I couldn't afford them. No one could afford them, I don't think. But spring or this time, fall, like October-ish. No snow in October as a general rule. So maybe this time next year in 2021, God willing.
Yeah, fall sounds good.
So as you all can see, there's no rhyme or reason to any of this. But I'm liking that as it is.
Is that a teeny tiny baby journal you're working in there?
It's a littler one. It's 5x7. I'll grab my really itty bitty one. Hang on. All right. This is my really little itty bitty one. This little beauty was a gift from Tina Jensen at Tina Jensen Art. And I love this little guy.
Oh, wow.
You guys have seen some of these pages. Maybe you've seen all of, I think I posted all of these pages.
It's so tiny.
This one is, he is he's 3 by 3.
That brings us to a great question. Do you have a lot of work that you don't necessarily share with the public?
No, not really. I think eventually everything gets shared for the most part. I don't always share the steps that it took to get me to a page, which can be confusing sometimes because sometimes my pages will be in a spread and you'll see the one half which isn't done. And then I'll go back 3 weeks later and have that page worked on and it's changed. That happens frequently. But I'm not real shy, I guess, about my work. If I'm happy with it, I'll share it. And I'm usually end up happy with it at some point.
Yeah, me either. I'm pretty much an open book.
Obviously, as you know, Tiffany, since you've read my book, I just put it all out there. I am 62. I have got nothing to hide at this point. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. That's what I love about you, Susie.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't really have any.
Yep, I agree.
I don't have any big secrets as a general rule.
Let it all hang out.
Yeah. All right. So this page, this spread, clearly I used this to clean off my brushes.
Now comes the white.
Yep, a little bit. But I had to move all this stuff to make room to put the tripod up. So everything is not in its normal home. So I'm like trying to make room to put the tripod up. So everything is not in its normal home. So I'm like, literally, I'm like, where are my pens? Where are my pencils?
I've gotten to the zone over here. So that's when I go quiet, is when I'm in the zone.
Yeah, I get that.
So somebody told me in your book you talked about a person that you met or that you were friends with that played on The Sounds of Music. I don't recall reading that.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned, God, I don't know. Did I say that? I don't know if I did. Come to think about it. No, I don't think I did. I did
They
in
wanted
my.
me to ask you about that.
Yeah. At the back of the book is all the different books my art has been in.
Did you post about it or something?
I might have posted about it. I might have. All right. So The Sound of Music, Birgitta, in the Julie Andrews original version, was played by Angela Cartwright, who was also in the Jetsons. No, not the Jetsons. Lost in Space. She is the oldest teenage daughter, she's the younger daughter in Lost in Space, the original, I think. Anyway, she's in there. She is also an artist, and way back in 2006 or 7, she saw some of my work on my old blog, and she was writing a book with mixed media artist Sarah Fishburne called In This House. And she sent me an email saying, hey, we're doing this book and one of our artists just backed out. Would you like to be in this book? And of course, I had never published anything at that point. I had only been doing mixed media for about, a few years. I knew absolutely didn't know what I was doing at that point. just basically making messes and seeing where they took me. And so she asked me to be in this book. And I didn't really think about what that meant. And I shot an email back going, yeah, sure, I'll do this. Well, then she shot me an email back saying, great, we need everything in 2 weeks. So I had to create what the name of the book is, In This House. And we were sent 4 panels, each representing a wall in the house. And we had to basically create art on both sides of these panels. So 8 pieces of art, and the panels were roughly 9 by 12. And write a story to go with the book or the house. And then also including favorite tools, techniques, and tips.
Wow.
And I thought, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And honest to God, I was scared to death.
Oh my.
Because I had never done anything like that in my entire life. And knowing who I was working with, I'm like, whoa, dude, this person is like, I've watched The Sound of Music a gazillion times. I'm like, who the heck am I to even be communicating with this person? And she likes my work. And I'm thinking, what work? So I started tumbling ideas around in my head. And I came up, while I was in the shower, I had like a lightning bolt moment. This idea took me. In my head, I understood exactly what I was going to do. So I remember yelling at my daughters and my husband. I came running down the stairs from the shower with, obviously I was dressed, and I said, don't anybody talk to me. Don't say a word. Just leave me alone. I'm going to write the story. And I did. It took me until I started around 8 in the evening, and I finished at like 3 in the morning. So then I had the story, and then once I had the story, I could make the artwork to go with it. So the artwork was way easier once I had a place to create from. So I had 2 weeks to do it, and including the time it took for me to mail it all to California. So I got it done within 7 days. I loaded it all up in a express mailbox. It cost me $25, but it was well worth it because there was no way I was going to deal with what the heck happens if it gets lost in the mail. That would have been not cool. So yeah, she got it, and it got used in the book, and that's how that happened. It was a good experience. Right. It was terrifying, but it was a good experience. And then they did a second book called In This Garden. And then they asked me to be
wow.
And then they asked me to be in that one, but that one I was in from the very beginning, so we had like a couple months
cool.
to work on the material. But that's my brush with fame. That's my brush with fame. I wanted to go to she had an opening at her home in California. But
you're famous to us. We love you, and you're famous.
Oh, thank you. I feel pretty much, I'm just your average Jolene.
Jolene, Jolene.
Good old Dolly Parton.
Yes. All right. So I've got to make some decisions here.
I hear tape.
I'm tearing fabric.
Oh, fabric. Ooh. Oh.
Yeah. Things are happening over here.
I see a bird. Kind of.
A bird in your background?
Yeah. Maybe. Sort of. Kind of. Oh. Don't like the bird anymore. Bird be gone.
So, what inspires your work, Susie?
Mostly just whatever mood I happen to be in. Sometimes it's what thoughts are running through my mind, which is probably why, given what's going on this past week, it's hard for me to get into the groove when I can't just kind of get centered and get into it. But mostly it's just thoughts that I'm having in a day.
Yeah.
Something I might have seen or read. Sometimes it's the art that I see, when I go through my favorite peeps on my feed. Sometimes it'll be a color that I see in someone's work, or an image they might have used that just gets me really excited. And I'm not out to recreate what they did, but it just sets the fire sparking, and then I take it from there. And generally something will emerge. But I don't ever like sit down and go, okay, I'm going to make a page speaking to this whatever one thing. It just kind of happens naturally, I guess, whatever happens to come out. I don't
happens. Yeah. I agree. I'll create the same way.
I have a really, I mean, I can work from prompts. But I generally have a really hard
work best in that way as well.
If somebody tells me, okay, let's do, if you put it, okay, here's a good way to describe it. If you told me to do a spread about a house, there's no way I could do it, because it has to happen on its own. So even though I love houses, if I were forced to make a spread using a house, it would probably fail miserably and it would look forced. And if it's one thing about my work that I guess I really almost try hard for, is I don't want it to look forced. if it looks forced, then I know it was, and then that drives me crazy. Which is another reason why I
love that
I hop.
It never looks forced.
That's another reason why I hop from journal to journal.
So
because
Susie, Vicky in the chat pod, she wants to know if we will do a flip through
of our journals that we're working on, or a flip through. A flip through of what? Yeah, yes, I would, but of what? Like.
She wants a flip through of the one that you showed with fabric.
Oh, this guy? Okay, I got a couple of them. This one?
That one, Vicky? Yes. She did exclamation point. So yes, please.
Yes. Happy to. This one's almost full. Hopefully it'll fit in the screen. All right. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it fits.
Okay. So I did this, the journal I made maybe, 3, maybe 4 years ago. All fabric cover that I just messy stitched, basically. That's a fabric transfer. I use stamp letters for the words. This is Flora Bowley fabric. All right. My title page. This spread was inspired by a song. Then there's this one. Lots of messy on this one. This is another page inspired by California Dreaming, that song. This page in particular was inspired by a class I took with by Bunn. It's her lyrical class that I took at the time. And it was all about doing spreads to lyrics that spoke to us. This spread I made, oh God, this one was inspired by, sadly, the mass shooting. I don't remember which one though. It was the most recent that really was tragic. Gosh, I wish I could remember what one it was, but I was feeling very, very sad that day when I made this one. And another one. Some pieces of these are in my book. Hoses always. Some pieces of these are in my book. This This one is in my book. Both of these are in my book, although they are edited differently than what and how they look in the book. Both of these are in my book, although they are edited differently than what and how they look in the book. This one is in the book. This one is in the book as well. Without it was, this is in the book, I believe.
I love to rub my hands across your pages.
I wish you could. I wish I could just pop right on over.
Is there are a few attached to the bottom?
It's an old tablecloth, a chunk of it. One of those old vintage grandma style.
Come anytime.
I got it for I got the whole tablecloth for like $2 at Goodwill. I've dyed this with dilutions, and it shows up all over the place. Like there are pieces of this same tablecloth in this journal. And where's oh, I know where it is.
I love that journal.
Thank you. Anyway, this one, this one is kind of a hot mess. I don't know what was going on that day, but I just went with it. And so this is a hot mess. I don't know. I probably did not put this one on Instagram. Because this one, even now, it's just like, I don't know what was going on that day, but whatever it was a hot mess. This one I haven't posted yet. This one is going to be posted probably tomorrow. So you're getting a sneak peek. And then this is the last page that I painted. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages, and this one is full. So that's this one. So there you go. Just the back. Had to take a drink. This girl is dry. This one is almost full too. I'm really excited to get this one filled up. Just because I've been working in this for maybe 5 years, I think. Tiffany, do you date your pages? Tiff? Tiffany? Tiffany? Hello, hello. Is anybody home?
Hey, Susie. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I think I got the audio fixed, but now I'm all backwards in my thing. Do y'all see me? Do y'all see me?
I can I can see you looking upside down at my phone.
Okay, good. So you can hear me fine.
Yeah.
Okay, woo. I got cut off. I don't know what happened, but okay, sorry. That was just a when I did see the journal you said you had been working on for like 5 years, and like
Yeah.
that is probably one of my favorite. I don't know. It's hard to pick a Susie favorite, but that
This
is
one?
one of my top fave journals. So
Thank you.
I always love seeing that fabric peeking around the edges there. So
Yep.
yeah. I may flip my camera around and come right back because apparently now I'm facing the camera in all of my naked face glory, which was totally by accident. So give me just a second. I'm gonna come right back and flip my camera around. But I can hear y'all on StreamYard, which is good because now it's not echoing. Everyone else agrees that this is much better. Yay! All right, I'll be right back. It should not cut us off
Okay.
or anything. I'm just gonna flip. Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right, tequila shots. It's time, guys. All right, so woo, goodness. All right. So thank you so much, Susie, for sharing with us your journal. I will do a quick flip through. They requested to see this fabric one. So this one actually was made by Shelly, who was here just a few minutes ago. I don't know if she is on anymore, but you can find her at be kind underscore have fun on Instagram. And so this is a chunky monkey. And it's leather on the outside, it looks like, and then it's got a lot of indigo fabric on the inside. So I will do a quick flip through of this one. I'm actually working on this page right now with you guys. I don't know if everyone saw it kind of coming together, but that's the girl I drew just a while ago. And then I did this little tag with her mouth stitched closed. And then I don't know, I'll put something up here. I'm not sure. That one's still in progress here. And then Susie loves Windows 2. So this is actually, it feels like it's just like a photo that I printed out.
I can see it now, Tiffany.
You can see it or not?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Look at us. All right, we're figuring it out. I've got
Yeah,
some
I got it on my
pages.
tablet.
I've got some pages here that still need to be filled in, but a little abstract, messy, wild thing. Some stitching that this is still not completed, but I work very intuitively like Susie does as well, so I don't have to start and finish a page all at once. I do for my YouTube channel, but typically when I'm just working, um, I just do it as I feel. And then this little girl, she's so cute with her little eyes covered. And then I found those words. It's interesting to me how the words typically find me after the page. Does your words find you before, during, or after the end?
Almost always after.
Me too. That's funny. I did this actually on YouTube. I'm 99.9% sure.
I love that.
Yep. I was working through some things, I'm pretty sure, on that one. This is a Click. I think you told me about the magazine, the Click magazine. They have just such beautiful images in there.
Yes.
And then those words found me after the fact. She's a silly looking little girl, but she's cute. I like her. And then I love this fabric. This will be fun to do something. I haven't finished it. This is still got a little opportunity there. I like the intuitive kind of stitching on the side here. And I love that she left that edge right there. I just love that so much.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's got some eco dyeing and stuff going on there. And this, I love using the negative space of some images and kind of playing with, I think it creates a little drama and the story is told a little more effectively that way.
I agree.
And then still some more pages to fill with that. Here's one of my wild girls. I don't remember if I did this one for you two. I have no idea. You might think you know me. That's funny. Staples and stitches and all the fun stuff. Like all the, I think this was some, I think Josh laughed at me because, you were saying about finding that, what was it? The, going out there and taking that,
the box.
Yeah. So this right here was actually a piece of masking tape that had this writing on it, and it was like we were at a flea market, but they were marking the spots, for whoever.
Yep.
And so somebody had caught that on the bottom of their shoe and walked off and had it. And so I found the piece of tape, and so I picked it up and put it in my purse. And Josh was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I know after 15 years, this is not surprising about that." So yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was like, "What in the world?" I'm like,
I do that all the time.
It's so funny. You just find the coolest stuff out there in the world. It's like I'm saving that and it will become something interesting and find a new home. Abandoned pieces of scraps.
Exactly.
This doesn't go with this one. This one flips. And then this goes here. This was a challenge on Yumi Sang 3. And that was one of our pieces. I had struggled with this because it's definitely not in my comfort zone, but it was fun to create. And then this little guy right here, I thought you looked to be stuffy. I thought that was so funny.
I love it.
Poor little guy. Poor little guy. And then I got bold with the red. So when you think about colors that you don't necessarily use that are kind of scary to you, what colors do you prefer not to use or you just don't gravitate to? Is there one that stands out?
Yep, purple. I rarely grab purple.
Yeah, me too.
And greens. Although, there are certain greens I absolutely love. Kelly green is a green that I tend to avoid, I guess.
There's a little feather that popped up in there. Yeah. And then this was something that I had printed on this little printer thing, but apparently I either got it wet, which would not surprise me, or when I was heating this, I think this is Tyvek or something in the journal that it did away with the font, but it's still pretty cool. So I don't mind it, but yeah, I don't know what happened to that. And then that's my grandmother. When
Oh,
she was young. She passed away when I was 5, and so she yeah, this was pretty cool because I got some family photos and it had my granny when she was young. And I
oh,
don't know, is it even as an adult, I always think of my granny as like being an older person, not necessarily being like when she was a young, beautiful girl, you know.
oh,
So
I hear you.
I think that's cool to use those sometime. And this was
Yes.
recently using the marker that you had told me about.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the fabric. And I did this just the other day.
I
Catching
love
your
your
breath.
faces, Tiff.
Thank you. I like all the hot pink and the black and white. And then this was just a mishmash hodgepodge of whatever's going on. And then this girl is pretty cool. I haven't finished this. I just glued her down because I felt like this page needed her, but she was actually cut out and on one of the other pages. And then
Mm-hmm.
Shelly, who made this, had done some type of like crackly, I don't know what it was, but it overlaid, and I just loved how that looked together. So I need to come back to this. But then we've got some fabric here. And then I love how fabric is mixed in throughout this indigo color. And
Yep.
blue isn't, this color blue really isn't something that I gravitate to. But using this journal has really gave me a new appreciation to that color. But purple and red are not really my colors. I'm more of a teal girl rather than
Yep.
a real blue color, you know.
Yep. 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 Me
And this
too.
girl was I think this was in my 5-minute challenge. I can't remember. But I'm like you, pretty much all of these have made it onto Instagram, I'm pretty sure. But I'm getting close to being through with this journal. And then I have some more. I just love how, I don't know exactly how she made these, if they were eco dyed, if they were rust dyed, but I love those colors together with the blue.
Yep. Rust and indigo look so dynamic together.
Yeah. And then somebody, I think it was PJ, said it's Shelly Sazama, and it's a be kind underscore have fun that created this journal.
Yep. I follow her. Yes. I
Yeah,
love her work.
I do too. That I like, it's something about, I like what you said about your journal, and um how you just have to feel inspired, whatever that is,
Yep.
exactly, that makes you inspired. But um between your denim one that I have like maybe one page, and it's that really bright colored one that you stitched all of the little squares together.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I can't figure out how to serve it well, but it's good. It's gonna hit me one day, and I'm gonna be able to finish that, and then I'll do a flip through of that. But this is that you can see. I love all of the things. Anytime that a journal has stuff that hangs out the edge, I'm all about it.
Yep. Yep. I hear ya. I hear
I
ya.
wonder what size this is. This size is like a 6 by 4, about 4, 6 by 4,
Yeah.
4 by 6. So it's a good little size though. I have enjoyed working with that. Do you have, I know when you do your nest of journals, are those all journals that you worked in that day, or do you purposely grab multiple sizes to work in that day, or how does that go?
I usually, if I want to photograph it, generally I've got like behind me that you obviously can't see. I've got like a half a dozen different journals that are open on my other table, And generally, just for interest, I may not have worked on them that day, but to have interest, underneath, so I'm not just, laying my journal open and photographing it. Although I do that too. Now the whole nesting thing for me, it's just something that has stayed with me. Everybody now associates nesting journals with me, so I'm kind of sticking with it.
Yes.
And and it really expresses kind of my whole approach anyway. Home, nesting, creating, inspiring, it all kinds of feeds together. And then building, when a nest is built, it's done twig by twig. And I feel that way, same way about my pages and my journals. I'm creating them page by page, piece by piece, and then they become a completed and fully built nest. So I don't have necessarily rhyme nor reason when I stack them, other than if it looks good to me, then I'll do it.
Yeah. I love your feed always inspires me. Every time that you post, I have notifications turned on for the Susie journals. I don't always catch them when I see it pop up, but
Yep.
your work is just super inspiring to me. And I love that. And in the comments, people said, I love that you make your own rules. So you don't, necessarily feel like you have to, do it a certain way. You just kind of listen to that intuitive voice and let it kind of guide you through the process. And I really feel that authentic, like you said, you don't want to force it. I never, when I see your work, I can identify it anywhere, I feel like. And, but I can, but I like know, like, oh yes, that is a Susie right there, boy, So, and I just how you your captions, like your way with words and how beautifully you are able to tell your story is just absolutely mesmerizing. So, yes, I love you very much, ma'am.
Yeah, me too, Tiffany. Thank you. I feel the same way about your work. I mean, and there's a lot of artists who's when I'm going through my feed, I don't necessarily look at who's posting it, but right away I know that's Tiffany. Oh, that's UK Jen. Yep, that's Kinley. I mean, it's just, you're my ladies, you're my gals.
I love that. I think we all pretty much feel that way whenever we see our people pop up. It's like, yeah, I know that chick. And it's so interesting, to know that the internet has allowed us to connect with so many other beautiful people that,
Yes.
it's people can say like the internet has all these bad things, and it does. However, for our world and us to collectively all come together and support each other and lift each other up, it's just awesome.
Yep, I feel
I
the
love
same
it.
way. It's like the internet for artists, I think, is a completely different world than, say, the internet for, whatever. I mean, artists do it for the community and and the supporting of each other. I think that doesn't happen in a lot of other areas on the web. And I think anytime that you're sharing, and it doesn't matter if it's like visual art like we do, if it's dance, if it's poetry writing, if it's attitude and coaching. I mean, they're all kind of creative activities, even though they stem from different ways of doing them. But having, being able to look at someone's work and saying, hey, I think that's really awesome, that's beautiful, that just makes me feel more inspired to go get going on something I'm doing, you know? I mean, there are some
Mm-hmm.
days, Tiffany, where, I will feel I'll get a whole lot less done on days when I am deprived my art time. It just
Yeah.
throws my whole day off if I can't spend at least, and I don't, sometimes I just don't have time or the ambition to finish a page. So even if I get a half hour where I am just doing what I did tonight and spread paint around, I feel like I've accomplished something. And
Yes.
it fulfills a need. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like I've had enough of the outside world. I just need 10 minutes of
Mm-hmm.
this to
Yeah.
feel sane.
Yeah. I think that was did that 5 minute challenge, and I know how you feel about the timer, Susie. I know how you feel about the timer. I feel like you're still talking because I see your hand moving, but I no longer hear you. Hello? Huh. Maybe audio went out. Let me see. Susie, you're frozen. Frozen in time, ma'am. And my leg just drawed, put up here like a crazy person. Huh. I don't know what happened. All right. Dance break. Do, 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 do. Well, I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging with us tonight. It has been so much fun. I was so surprised when Susie said she would hang out with us. She popped back quick too, y'all. When I sent her that message, she was like, "Yes, girl, I would love to." I was like, "You better stop." Maybe it's a sign, guys, because my phone just said it was about to die. And the last time that I hooked the phone up, while I was, hold on, let's see. Oh, her phone died. My phone's about to die too. All right. So, guys, we are going to call it a night. It has been a beautiful time enjoying you guys with us. If you want to check out Susie, if you don't follow her, um go follow her because she's freaking awesome. And I linked it all in the description box. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, let us know that you're here. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. It has been an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you. I love you. I will be posting this chick on Instagram tonight. And until next time, guys, toodaloo. Did y'all all say toodaloo too? All right, cool. All right, toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo.